Al, what are you seeing from your perspective there?
Well, this is an incredible sight to behold as we walked up on this bridge, and to see what you guys are looking at right now. And I heard your phone interview with Major Anthony Lowry a little bit ago, saying that God had to be on the side of these kids. And looking at this site, I can't agree more, because you can really get a perspective now of what we've been hearing about all morning as to how deep this gorge is, how far this bus went down, and what a terrifying experience this must have been for these kids and a few parents on board. And as we know, tragically, one fatality also, as we understand, with the bus driver. Just an incredible scene. You can see the luggage scattered all over the ground. You can see that there's a creek running through here. I believe this is Cowpen Creek. And judging by, if you can see up the embankment, the way this bus must have gone off is just somehow gone into the median prior to the guardrail, and then just straight down this concrete embankment, and ended up on the bottom. You can see the top of the bus is just buckled, holes torn into it, I imagine by first responders trying to get inside the bus, probably tearing holes into the top of that bus so that they could get those that were injured out. You can see there are a lot of folks still on the ground down below us where this bus is. They're looking through the area. I'm sure some are ALDOT inspectors looking at the bridge struts to make sure that they're in good shape. That's a big part of what needs to happen right now, as far as knowing when the interstate will be opened back up, is knowing that this bridge and its support structure did not receive any damage. So they're looking at that down there right now. I see one large wrecker up on top of the eastbound span, and a lot of people looking down there, and they're going to have quite a job ahead of them. As you can imagine, as you're looking at this scene, getting this bus up out of this deep ravine. Just to kind of brief you on what we know at this point, as we understand it now, there were 49 people on board. There were 50 on the manifest, but as I understood it now, there was 49 in total that were on the bus. Majority of them were students and kids from a church group out of a community near Houston, Texas, traveling back from a spring break trip to Disney World. I understand there were 5 adults on board the bus at the time. The rest were children. There were several helicopters that came in and flew the injured out, a number of ambulances as well. 10 hospitals in all were used to transport the wounded to. Some still in critical, as I understand it. There's also been some set up. The Sheriff's Department has told us there's a church in Daphne has been set up as a point of contact for family members of these children out of the Houston area. They're trying to find out about their loved ones, and as the ones that have been treated and released from the hospital get out of the hospital, they'll be taken to a church in the Daphne area where they will be taken care of as they try to make arrangements with family members back in the Houston area to get over here and be reunited with their family members. But this is the first time that we've been able to actually take a look at this scene. And if you can imagine 5:30 in the morning, this happening. It's dark, it's cold. You've got first responders having to rappel down the side of this bridge and this embankment to get to those that are hurt and get them out. What a Herculean task this must have been, and just want to say what a wonderful job they had to have done to get all of these injured children out of this bus and get them the help they needed. So right now, of course, the interstate is still shut down and will likely be shut down. The state troopers are saying at least until noon right now. They're leaving it at that time frame. They're just going to hold it right there and hoping that they might be able to get some traffic movement back on Interstate 10 by around noon. But gosh, guys, and looking at this, I don't know. It's already 9:30, and the bus is still there. There's no straps attached to it. The crew with the towing company and everybody else is still just kind of looking over the scene as to how they're going to make this happen. Very large tour bus, as you can see. It's a typical tour bus, 50-passenger bus, and just stuff scattered all over the ground, all the luggage from this group coming back from spring break, all over the ground down below. So just an incredible scene, as you can see right here. And that's about all we can tell you right now. I know you're kind of looking into the sun. I'm going to just kind of let you know. I don't know, Mick has probably showed you. We've got the tow truck on top over here. And I don't know how, that's got to be at least 5 stories, 50 feet or so down this ravine. We've got a creek running through here. It's a narrow, expansive bridge. Not a lot of room to work with, really. So it's going to be quite a task, quite a challenge for them to get this bus out of there. Of course, the main thing is that they got, as we understand right now, all the kids that were on this bus, the passengers were transported and getting medical attention. Unfortunately, one fatality, we understand, was the bus driver. But it's amazing. Looking at this, it is truly amazing that there were not more fatalities involved in this. Just truly amazing. It's quite a sight to see. You can see how far down this is from where I stand. Kind of gauge, and if you can kind of, Mick, if you can walk up here just a little bit and kind of tilt down and show the steepness of this embankment. I imagine it's the same on the other side, the grade, and that's to me that looks at least 45-degree angle, maybe even more. But so this kind of gives you perspective from this side of the distance and the route of the bus took going down the embankment on the opposite side from where we stand. But that's what it looks like right now here, guys. Of course, as we get more updates on the road conditions, when the highway may reopen, we'll certainly let you know. Right now, the diversion is still Highway 90 on the south side between the state lines of Florida and Alabama, and on the north side, you can take Highway 112 in and out of Escambia County, Florida, into Baldwin County, Alabama. And that diversion is happening at 9 Mile Road or Highway 90 exit on the Florida side of the line, and it's happening at the Baldwin Beach Express on the Alabama side of the line. So that's a long stretch, 19 or 20 miles of Interstate 10 that is closed and will remain closed for quite some time, judging by what we see here. But just quite a sight to see.